This is the woman that all men want, and she is also the most beautiful woman in France. Her melancholic and charming eyes and charming appearance have driven countless fans crazy about her. The movie that the editor is explaining today vividly showcases his stunning acting skills and stunning body shape. On the train, the man with glasses was reading seriously. A charming woman quickly took off her coat across from him and sat down elegantly. Her white and slender thighs suddenly appeared in the man's eyes. The man wants to avoid, but the other person's proud figure still makes him unable to resist. When he bumped into the woman's direct gaze, the man shyly lowered his head. The woman took off her sunglasses and untied the scarf around her neck. Her elegant behavior always attracted the man. The man pretended to be deep, but the woman took the initiative to speak, "My family." The man held his breath, endured the nervousness in his heart, carefully pulled his face open for the woman, and then closely watched his every move. At this moment, the woman spoke again, saying that he really wanted to drink milk tea. His majestic demeanor and gentle coquettish tone made the man unable to refuse. During lunch, the man enthusiastically took the initiative to buy food, and the two of them ate lunch together, beginning to understand each other. The man's name is Dai Lang, a writer of adventure novels, and the person's name is Yala, a mysterious wealthy woman. The man encountered a bottleneck in writing and wanted to travel to another place to seek inspiration, while the rich woman only went on an ordinary weekend. After arriving at the station, the rich woman invited the man to dinner. So, the poor Dalong and the mysterious Yara stayed in a luxurious 5-star hotel. Dai Lang was in the presidential suite like Lu Laolao, who saw the grand view garden, excitedly strolling around curiously. Era couldn't help but smile when she saw it. Afterwards, the two of them went swimming together at the beach. Yala was like a mermaid, and her proud figure and elegant posture dazzled Dai Lang. However, Yala's actions made Dai Lang's heart skip a beat, right? The cheerful and bold demeanor of the French woman had to impress Nyogu, or of, "I'm enjoying sunbathing, and my hot figure makes Dylan can't bear to look straight at me." He tried to avoid, but ultimately lost his courage to his heart. After dinner, the two of them took a walk on the road together. Dai Lang was curious about Yala wearing a men's watch and followed her directly to give him the famous watch. Faced with Yara's bold actions, Dai Lang felt very curious and puzzled. He didn't know what kind of woman Yara was. Since she was so extravagant, he carefully examined the watch that he struggled for 10 years and couldn't buy. He found a name written on the back, Anthony Dai Lang. Looking down at the night view in the hallway, Yala also walked over and saw someone watching him downstairs. He immediately smelled Dai Lang beside him. The sudden benefits made Dai Lang ecstatic. Era pulled him into the room and pulled the curtains. Just as Dai Lang was enjoying himself to his heart's content, Era's words left him inexplicable. When we woke up in the early morning, Dai Lang was awakened by a knock on the door. He saw two murderous people through his cat's eye, but at this moment, Era couldn't find a trace. Dai Lang felt that something was not going well, so she quickly hid in the wardrobe and ran out of the room while the assassin was searching the living room. Dai Lang ran barefoot on the street, with two assassins frantically chasing after him. In the end, Dai Lang hid under the car and finally managed to escape the assassin's pursuit. Dai Lang came to the police station and said that he had just been chased. The police recorded a statement for him and went to get his clothes and shoes. However, Dai Lang discovered that the wanted notice on the wall was actually Anthony, the owner of the watch. Due to Dai Lang's injury during his escape, the police arranged for him to be treated in the hospital, but he appeared very panicked. Taking advantage of the security department, he quickly ran out of the ward. Dai Lang arrived at the underground parking lot, searching for an escape exit when a car rushed towards him. At the moment when the car door opened, Dai Lang's hanging heart finally fell. It turned out that it was Era who had surrounded him before his marriage. Era took Dai Lang to an old house, saying it was very safe and letting him stay in the limelight for a while. Dai Lang did not regret being inexplicably chased. Instead, he asked when he would see Yala again, and Yala told him that he was actually using him, because Dai Lang's figure is very similar to his boyfriend, while Anthony is a money laundering expert being pursued by the police and the mafia. But Anthony has already undergone plastic surgery, leaving both black and white at a loss for him. It was that night when Era kissed Dai Lang that the gang thought he was Anthony, so they kept chasing him. Dai Lang, who was used as a scapegoat, was not angry. Instead, he asked Yala why she wanted to help Anthony. Yala called Anthony and arranged a meeting place for the next day. Yala arrived at the meeting place and waited for a long time, but did not see Anthony's shadow. Instead, she waited for Dai Lang, who followed her. Dai Lang's appearance surprised Yala greatly. At this moment, Dai Lang was clinging to Yala, saying that he was willing to do anything for him. However, Yala didn't want to talk to Dai Lang. He got up angrily and left, quickly getting on a bus. And then Dai Lao, who was chasing after him, was taken into the car by the security bureau. Dai Lao and the security bureau desperately explained that he was not Anthony's mind, but calmly said he knew. After that, he took him to the hall and handed a photo to Dai Lang. Originally, Chiara was an undercover agent placed next to Anthony, which led to Anthony's plan to arrest him. And Dai Lang's persistent entanglement with Chiara completely disrupted the plan formulated by the security bureau. And when Dai Lang saw the handsome police uniform photo of Chiara, he immediately showed an incredible expression of surprise. And on the other side, Chiara is installing a bug on her body, preparing to lure Anthony out again. But the security personnel found an unusual news in the newspaper that they concluded Anthony's next meeting with his younger brother would be at his home. The security bureau was worried that Dai Lang might have another problem, so they took him with them during the operation. The sniper was hiding around the house, and Chiara appeared on the balcony of the villa on time. He was leisurely sitting on the swivel chair, waiting for Anthony's appearance. However, the sudden intrusion of a gang into the underworld made Yeritin nervous. Blue is the killer of the underworld, and they are also looking for Anthony because they entrusted Anthony with washing the money, and Anthony swallowed it all before disappearing. The assassin slapped Chiara to the ground a few times, forcing him to ask about Anthony's hiding place and threatening to make Chiara disappear within 5 minutes. The situation inside the house was very tense, but the listening mind remained unmoved. Meanwhile, Dai Lang, who had been following him, suddenly disappeared and appeared openly in the villa, loudly claiming to be Anthony. Dai Lang looked affectionately at Chiara, his unwavering gaze indicating his unwavering regret. Although Dai Lang's appearance is not like Anthony's, they know that Anthony has recently undergone plastic surgery. Besides, Dai Lang's figure is exactly the same as Anthony's. Seeing that Dai Lang is so interested in Chiara, he concluded that he must be Anthony's head. He threatened Dai Lang with a gun to hand over the black money, while Chiara desperately explained that he was not Anthony, and a ferocious mind wouldn't believe that it was about to knock the trigger and destroy Dylan. The sniper immediately killed the killer. Dai Lang used his body to protect Chiara, and they finally managed to avoid a disaster. Chiara was completely moved by Darla and began to fall in love with him deeply, but his flesh caught Anthony and he couldn't give Darla a promise. Just as Chiara was feeling sad, Dai Lang slowly walked up to him, affectionately caressed her tearful face, and quickly pulled off the listening device from her body. He gently whispered in Chiara's ear that it was Su Liang. Chiara was stunned. It turned out that Dai Lang was Anthony, who underwent plastic surgery. She had already used Dai Lang herself, but to her surprise, Dai Lang was her beloved Anthony. After a struggle, Chiara warmly embraced Anthony. Although he was a criminal, Chiara could never hate him and said she had 5 minutes for him to escape before leaving to report to the leader. Chiara walked up to the leader with a heart full of worries, ready to admit the mistake she had made. Unexpectedly, the leader handed him a passbook containing a huge sum of money that Anthony had taken away, with his account and password written on it. This left his mind very puzzled as to why Anthony, who always values money, should do this. In fact, Anthony also went through a series of ideological struggles. In the face of money and women, he still chose his beloved Chiara, and then took out the passbook hidden in the darkroom and threw it into the crowded hall. When Chiara turned her head, she happened to see Anthony, who was taking notes. At the moment when their eyes met, both of them showed a knowing and happy smile. The former Anthony no longer exists, and now Dai Lang has become Chiara's lover. From then on, the two of them never had. To avoid missing out on more exciting movies, please click subscribe.